Execution does not end with the fall of a blade. It ends when resistance becomes impossible. The Hakai Enforcer stands before them, towering, unmoving, absolute. Its blade hovers inches from Kaito's throat, not held by muscle, but by authority. The air screams. Gravity folds inward around the edge of the weapon, dragging dust, light, and sound toward it like a dying star. For a single heartbeat, nothing exists except pressure. Then, the world buckles. Kaito's knees slam into the ground with bone-shattering force. The floor spiderwebs beneath him. Blood erupts from his nose, splashing across fractured stone as the space around his hands warps violently, reality twitching like it's being strangled. Raizen staggers back. Heat detonates in his chest. Veins blaze gold beneath his skin, crawling up his neck like living fire. He clenches his fists, teeth bared. That's not just strong. The Enforcer pushes. The blade descends a fraction. Walls fold inward. Steel beams shriek like dying animals. The chamber begins to collapse under invisible weight. Shin Kage steps forward. Ice explodes outward from his feet. The temperature plummets. Frost races across the walls, locking fractures in place as towering glacial barriers erupt between the Enforcer and the twins. Shin raises one hand. A storm answers. Massive spears of condensed ice form instantly, razor-sharp, glowing blue-white, and launch forward in a screaming volley. They shatter on contact. You? Not blocked. Erased. The Enforcer doesn't even turn its head. The pressure triples. Shin is slammed backward, skidding across frozen ground as his ice fractures mid-formation, crushed by raw authority. Shin Kage. Move! Kaito barely hears him. Sound is collapsing. His vision tunnels. The blade surges closer. Raizen moves. Not away. Forward. He roars, something feral breaking loose, and slams into the Enforcer with everything he has. The impact detonates. A thunderclap rips through the tunnel, a shockwave vaporizing debris and blasting apart steel supports. The Enforcer slides back. One step. Just one. Raizen freezes. Then his grin spreads wide, wild, unhinged. Raizen. I felt that. The Enforcer responds instantly. One motion, one strike. Raizen is deleted from the chamber, launched through the wall in a spiraling explosion of stone and metal, punching through multiple reinforced layers before vanishing into the abyss beyond. The echo of the impact rolls on, and on, and on. Then, silence. Kaito! Kaito screams his brother's name. The Enforcer advances again, unhurried, inevitable. Shin slams his palm into the ground. A cathedral of ice erupts upward, massive frozen pillars interlocking into a towering barrier, runes flickering across their surface. The blade touches it. The entire structure atomizes. Ice becomes mist. Mist becomes nothing. Shin is thrown aside, skidding, frost armor cracking across his body. Kaito crawls across shattered stone, ears ringing, vision swimming. He finds Raizen half buried in debris. Blood coats his lips. His breathing is shallow, but his eyes are still burning. Raizen, weak, grinning. Yeah, that one hits different. Kaito grips his arm, hard. Don't you dare die. The Enforcer looms over them. The blade rises again. Execution resumes. Something breaks. Not the tunnel, not the air. Inside Kaito. Pressure detonates behind his eyes. Sound implodes. Color drains from the world, then floods back in silver. Time stutters. The Enforcer freezes, mid-step, mid-execution. Not stopped. Paused. Raizen feels it. Pain evaporates. Fear disappears. Heat erupts inside him like a supernova. Golden fractures crawl across his skin, carving glowing sigils into muscle and bone. His eyes ignite. He laughs. Low. Echoing. Wrong. Raizen. There you are. The Enforcer swings. The blade cuts through nothing. Not because Kaito dodged, but because the space he occupied no longer exists. Kaito stands. Slowly. Silver distortion bends away from him, reality refusing to make contact. The air curves around his body like a bowed knee. For the first time, his voice doesn't shake. No more. Raizen rises beside him. Blood evaporates off his skin in hissing steam. The ground explodes outward beneath his feet as raw power bleeds uncontrollably into the environment. Cracks tear through the tunnel. The ceiling collapses in waves. Shin looks up from the rubble, eyes wide. Ice forms instinctively around him, responding to something far older than fear. For the first time, the Hakai Enforcer steps back. Not retreat, recalculation. The air trembles. Uncertainty ripples through reality itself. High above the Undercity, beyond districts, beyond walls, the fractured sky ring darkens. Not flickers, not glows. It darkens. Ancient systems awaken. Dormant protocols stir. Something listens. Execution.